Today we are gonna cover another Christmas related image as I did in my last video where I created a scene from inside an apartment with a kid watching Santa leaving his place. This time, however, we're gonna take a look inside Santa's cave, which can also count as an inside environment. Since Christmas is gonna be here in less than 2 weeks, I feel inspired to create more similar stuff in order to level up my Photoshop skills. If you do have any ideas that I can put together in my next Photoshop edit, please let me know down below in the comments. That being said, I guess we should go directly into Photoshop. As usual, first thing first, adding the background or the environment. For this composition I got an Antarctica iceberg along with a frozen lake from which I wanted to keep only the ice path. This is the place where Santa will be standing on. Then I got one more iceberg, this time one that could be used as a wall of glass. I've changed it to my like, hide some parts and it was good to go. I got this 3D asset of Santa and changed it a bit with another 3D element because the original one didn't look quite real to me. To create the illusion that this tree is actually inside the iceberg, I simply changed the blending mode to soft light and lowered the opacity to around 50% and then duplicated the layer so I can amplify the star with a glow. Also, the glow should be very subtle because it is inside the wall and doesn't have that much power. As you can see, I use often solid color adjustment layers set on soft light or hard light because it helps me coloring the entire scene. Also, when I add a camera raw filter, it does change a lot. Then I kept adding different ice textures, all set on screen and mask out the edges and parts I don't want to have. There is no particular reason why I chose these images, I simply try to see which one fits better in my case. Then I had to adjust some colors, overall shadows and mood. I added a source of light that comes from outside the cave in the corner left in order to add more variety. Sometimes I only use one source of light, which can make the composition look a bit simple, so I try to change that. It also opens more room to create shadows and highlights, which makes the composition more detailed and complex. Here I used another iceberg and the idea was to create some sort of fold that separates two plants. The first one is Santa along with his deers and a sledge, and the other one being his chair, the tree and gifts. It might not look very realistic, but I thought it looks cool and I went for it. I also had to make this part of the image, so I fixed the angle, changed the exposure and added some shadows and highlights. I got this 3D throne which needed a lot of tweaking since it was golden red. I did this with adjustment layers, that being exposure, color balance, hue and saturation, and a lot of painting, as you can see. The same thing for the deers, had to make them darker since they are in the bottom right of the image and there is not that much light. As I said earlier, there should be more light sources, so I decided to add a lamp that glows in the bottom left of the image since the composition is pretty dark. I also try not to hide that many things in the dark because a dark image will never look good when comparing with a bright one. So because of the lamp, that also means that the sledge and Santa need highlights, so I had to paint them.